What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another video. I apologize for the month break, I believe, 4 or 5 week break that I took from YouTube, but I'm back now. I'm back full swing. Everything is back to normal, so please expect 2 videos to be uploaded every single week covering the TOEFL content or anything else related to the English language that you, the viewers and subscribers, want. Now, in today's question, we're going to be covering a Task 1 speaking question that can be accessed at zabenexam.com under TPO number 5. However, if for some reason you are not able to access that website, don't worry. I'll be covering all of those speaking questions and even the writing questions down the road. So stay tuned and let's solve those questions together. All right. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? It is more important to study math or science than it is to study art or literature. Now, this is just a response for the TOEFL speaking, for a TOEFL speaking question, so please do not take this to heart. This is just my opinion for this question, and I've chosen this opinion just out of practicality purposes, okay? And what I mean by that is, by the looks of how things are shaping up, especially in today's world, it seems a lot easier to support math or science over art or literature, okay? So I'm going to be agreeing with this given statement. Now, in the first reason, I wrote down pursuing because that's the word I'm going to be saying instead of studying, and focusing on for the second reason for the same exact reason. Okay, so in the first reason, I'm going to say pursuing math or science would be beneficial. And in the second reason, I'm going to say focusing on art or literature at the expense of other subjects can be detrimental. At the expense of is an expression that I want you guys to get used to using because it's very handy. Now, these are the words that I wrote down in the first detail. Get stable jobs, STEM fields, high demand. Second detail, live in world driven by info and technology, left behind. Okay, now let's listen to my sample response. Please take a close look at my notes once again and listen really carefully to the sentences that I actually say because that's where most of the education takes place, all right? Here I go. In my eyes, the statement that it is more important to study math or science than it is to study art or literature rings true to me. To begin with, the first thing that came to my mind as I read this question is that pursuing math or science would be very beneficial. This is mainly due to the fact that doing so would enable students to get stable jobs much more easily as the STEM fields are in high demand, especially these days. In addition to this, focusing on art or literature at the expense of other fields can be detrimental, since we now live in a world that's driven by information and technology. So those who specialize in art or literature unfortunately get left behind from time to time. Okay, now the second detail could have been much shorter, just like this. In addition to this, focusing on art or literature at the expense of other fields, other subjects, can be detrimental, since we now live in a world that's driven by information and technology. Just like that, that's fine as well. Now, if that's the second detail that I said, I maybe would have had 5 seconds left, and within that amount of time, as a result, I definitely agree with the given statement. All right, here's the rule. Only look at the time once. And when is that? After you're done with the second detail. And why? Because that's where your response is supposed to end. You don't need to give an ending statement. You don't need to say a wrap-up sentence. You really don't. Because the statement and your opinion is going to be remembered. No one's going to forget within 45 seconds, okay? So what I'm saying is, do not push yourself and do not rush yourself just to have a few seconds at the end for the ending sentence. It's not a good choice, okay? It's not a sacrifice worth making because the overall fluency of your entire response is what's being determined and judged, okay? All right, that was the question that I wanted to cover today. And once again, keep in mind, this is just a response for this TOEFL speaking question. It's not what I truly believe. Now guys, please study this response very, very thoroughly so that if you are given a question that's really similar to this or even the same as this, now you know what to say. So please, I love art and literature just as much as the next person. But for this speaking response, which only gives us 15 seconds of preparation, I think these are the details that are more agreeable and therefore easily accepted by the general public, okay? If you guys liked what you saw, heard, and experienced, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share the content, but most importantly, if you are a self-disciplined and dedicated person, reach out to me about my tutoring services. Let's get the score you need and deserve as soon as possible and get the job done. Peace.